Okay, hi ladies and gents. Ruth Elgato here and Ruth Elgato's Damn Glamour page. So, I decided to come on my channel today in my PJs. I'm sorry guys, the last couple of videos have been PJ videos because nighttime has been the best times for me to actually get on video where I don't have interruptions and I don't have issues where I have like noises and stuff like from my neighbors and stuff from them playing music or being too loud or anything like that. This is like the best time right now where it's kind of late. It's 9:24. It's kind of late that I can actually make sure that it's nice and quiet and relaxed so that I can be able to talk to you guys. So the plan was to get all dolled up like I usually typically do and like do my hair and do my nails and do a little makeup and put something cute on. But I recognize how much I just, really needed to get on the camera when I was gonna have little to no interruptions and have a better opportunity to be able to really communicate with you guys. Now, I know you guys probably can't see me very well. The shadow light is kind of crappy. Please forgive that and just take the contents in which I will be delivering today, okay? So, today I decided to record on my laptop because one, my phone is constantly giving me issues where it's saying it's not enough room to save anything else. That's one reason why. But another reason also why is because I wanted to be able to allow you guys to hear parts of these videos that I wanted to speak about today. So I do believe that the first video that I'm going to go ahead and get out of the way so I don't forget it, especially since I know this is a video that I'm very passionate about anywho. If you guys are already a part of my Truth Tribe, then you already know that I come to you guys with a ton of different types of videos, which would be consistent of hair and makeup tutorial videos, bling with me tutorial videos, because I do my blinging with the stones, clean with me tutorial videos, because I do cleaning also, as well as singing with me videos, dancing with me videos, exercising with me videos, and also videos in which where I may see a video or a movie or hear a song and decide that I'm going to expound on what I've heard or what I've seen. So if you guys are already a part of the Truth Tribe, then you guys would already know that this is basically what my channel is about. Me sharing my outlook and what I believe in through my filter, when I've been through. So that's why I decided to go ahead and record on my laptop so that I can be able to play, if not all of the video, at least some of these videos so that you guys can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Of course, I'm not going to pay all of the video because I don't want copyright issues before I even get monetized. I'm trying to do the best that I can to keep up the consistency of not having copyright issues now so that by the time I can get monetized, I won't have that problem. So that's what I'm working on. So if I do play any of these bits and pieces of these videos, it's going to be very small portions so that there is no copyright issues. Again, I am so sorry that I look kind of dark and you really can't see me very well in this video, but I felt the need to share this information with you guys because I feel that it is very crucial and important. Actually, you know what, guys, I'm going to do what I did last time so I don't have the copyright issues, which is use my headphones. So I will listen to what I have to listen to on the headphones instead of allowing you guys to hear it. That way I know I won't have any, copyright problems.
Up to go. Why? You ain't gonna have food tomorrow?
Okay, so basically, what I'm about to talk about on this specific video is a video that y'all just heard because it played out loud because it's not connected to my headphones just yet. I'm about to connect it right now. But it's a mother, a single black mother, who is going ham, going in, fussing because I suppose this is what I'm assuming because I don't know the exact story. I just know she's fussing. I suppose and I assume that what probably happened before she started fussing on this specific video is that her son, who looks like a teenager, probably between the ages of 13 and 15 years old, he probably came home and probably asked her for some money because he probably wanted to take a girl out or something like that. And this woman is going in supposedly, and I say supposedly because how are you going to be really trying to fuss at a little girl? Because she's fussing at the equivalent of a little girl because I suppose she's trying to talk to the person that this son of hers would be dating, which would be a little girl compared to her. So you're really fussing at a little girl. And it's sad. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do, like I told you guys, I'm going to play it right now. And it's going to play in my own ears. And while it's playing in my ears, I'm going to talk to you guys about what's playing in my ears. So that way, I won't have to worry about any copyright issues, okay? So I'm going to start it from the beginning, playing it in my own ear. And then I'm going to reflect it to you guys, what I'm getting from the video. I'm starting now. Okay, I'm going to tell you the title of the video if you decide that you want to go look up the video yourself. Now, if you do not believe or agree with my insight on this specific video, if you do not share the same views, that is fine. Just do not disrespect me and or my views or my channel. If you don't share the same views, just keep scrolling. Or, you know, whatever, you know, you don't have to share my views. But the name of the actual video is Mother Completely Goes Off on Girls Wanting Her Son to Pay for Expensive Dates. Okay, so I got the video from scrolling on YouTube, but I'm not sure how else you can find it. Do Daddy TV is the page that I guess posted this. I'm not subscribed to them though, and I'm not going to. But that's where I got this video from. Just in case you guys are wondering, this is what it looks like. Okay, so now I'm going to watch it. Okay, so she's saying you want to talk about the first restaurant that he gonna take you to. Let's talk about the last restaurant that your daddy took you to. Now let's check this. Y'all see the... Trying to turn it around so y'all can see it clear. Y'all see the video, right? Y'all see how it's just her and the little boy, right? So to be having... First of all, this little boy having his mama come to his defense like this shows just how much of a little boy he still is. He's supposed to be a teenager, about to be a grown behind man in a few years, and got his mommy sitting there fussing out girls for him. So that's the first thing that she decides to say is, you worried about talking about these girls that's expecting this guy to come out of his pockets if she's gonna come out her panties, clearly, because we already know. Let's not pretend like we don't know what the real goal with these guys are, what these little boys especially are. The goal with these little boys and these guys is to get laid, okay? So since we know that this is what the goal is, yeah, of course girls are going to tell you or tell that guy, you got to spend money on me. You got to take me shopping. You got to take me to eat. You got to do something. You can't be getting something from me, the poo nanny, and then thinking that you're not going to do anything to get that. But his mama is sitting here trying to teach him that a woman, I guess, is not supposed to value herself, because she's basically asking females that's asking him to treat them better. She's asking them, well, what's the last meal you bought yourself? And better yet, what's the last meal your daddy bought you? Here's what I wanted to say to that. Y'all see in this video, let me point it out again. I already pointed it out, but let me point it out again. How in this video, you can clearly see that there's no daddy for this little boy, or no husband for her in this specific video at all. Hold on. At all. No, it's only him and the mama. That's it. The little boy and his mama. No daddy. So, lady, first of all, you already wrong talking about a father and talking about a daddy when you ain't even clearly got a daddy in the picture with you. That's number one. Number two, you are a-hole for talking about a daddy when you already know one of the common problems in the black community is what? Not having mother and father in the household. So why would you throw that back in a female's face if she doesn't have a father? Why would you throw that back in her face that she doesn't have a father? Or if she does have a father that don't treat her the best way, why would you throw that in her face that, in other words, from what you're saying, she doesn't deserve to have your son take her to a nice restaurant if her father didn't never take her to a nice restaurant, or if she never took herself to a nice restaurant, which is a bunch of bogus bull and mess. How and why? Because people lie. How would you even know whether she had been out to any nice restaurants before? Unless she tells you. Now, she could very well tell you, oh yeah, my dad took me to the Charter House. My dad took me to Spaghetti Warehouse. My dad took me to a few wine, places to eat. He took me to a few different countries to eat. A girl can make up many of stories, honey, and not one of them be true. So you would rather her do that as opposed to being honest and saying, okay, yeah, I might not have a father in my life, and I may not have the money to be able to go ahead and take myself to these places, but I know that I have the liberty and the freedom to make the choice to date guys that I know can take me to places like this. Or you can be a woman that's like me and say, hold up though, even though I didn't ever have a father in my life, I do take myself to nice places. And I'm about to get back into the mode of taking myself to nice places even more than I already have. I've taken myself to the mall to go shopping. I've taken myself to the movies. I've taken myself to my favorite restaurant, McCormick and Schmick's. I've taken myself to the Cheesecake Factory. I've taken myself to Red Lobsters. I've taken myself to Chili's. I've taken myself multiple different places to nice seafood places because I like seafood. So, I've taken myself to a number of different places that I can like have activities at, and like do like activities like look at animals or do like small little projects that are probably like creative things to do. I've taken myself to do plenty of those things by myself, and I'm actually planning when the springtime comes back around and the summertime comes back around next year. I'm actually planning to start taking myself on art museum dates, and taking myself on some dates where I can make some art. I can do some pottery classes. I can probably, start some painting classes on my own, until I get around some guys that are willing to do things like that for me without complaining about it. Because I get guys that will do certain things for me, but then they'll complain the whole way through. And so that's why I decided to bring this video to you guys' attention, because I recognize This video right here that I am bringing to you guys' attention is the very reason why there are many of beautiful, and I'm not just talking about on the outside, I'm talking about on the inside as well as the outside, very beautiful females, women, young women who may end up having low self-esteem and low confidence about themselves, and don't take the best care of themselves, and don't demand that other people take the best care of them if they're going to be in their life. And this video right here that I'm talking about is exactly the reason why there are so many black women that are that way. Because black men are being raised by black women who are scorned and who have never been treated like a lady, never been pampered, never lived a soft life. So she don't even know what that means. So of course that's why she's going to teach her son to question everything concerning the woman that he's interested in, instead of recognizing that, yo, if you want to take this girl out, you want to actually be with her, then take her out and be with her. Don't sit there and try to find out all these different things about her to see if she takes the same care of herself as you. That's a waste of time and effort. All that time you sitting there trying to find out whether she take herself out, whether she got a good dad and all of that, you could have been putting all that time and attention into your relationship and making sure that y'all get together well and y'all are able to get along and things of that sort. And I recognize that's the reason why it's a lot of men that's out here that's messed up. It's because of their mothers and fathers. These moms and dads are not taking accountability and raising their children correctly. They're raising their children incorrectly, giving them the wrong advice, and then unleashing demons to date you. You thinking this guy is cute and he's a good guy because he looks like he is. Meanwhile, he has a demon for a mother that's sitting there trying to tell you and trying to tell him that if you didn't have a father figure in your life, and if you don't have the funds at the moment right now to get yourself to the point where you can take yourself to the same places that you're asking him to take you to, then you don't deserve to go there. This is the type of stuff that she's saying. Now let me continue to play the video. So she's already said, oh, so you want to talk about going to some expensive places to go out to dinner and where he's going to take you out to? Let's talk about where your daddy last took you. Okay, I'm going to press play again. On their first date. She's saying bring that down to level 3. Y'all on level 10 with this. You want to embarrass somebody. And then she's saying her next question is, have you ever been anywhere? Where do you take yourself? So her first question is, do you have a daddy? And do your daddy take you out? And then now she's saying, have you ever been anywhere? Where do you take yourself? If you always working and you always busting your behind and you can't really take yourself out because you always busting your behind, why are you asking me all these questions? If I give myself the excuse that I'm going to make time because out of my busy schedule because I like your son, that I'm going to make time to spend time with your son, how you figure that I'm wrong for trying to spend time with him and telling him to, spend some good money on me if he wants, this connection? But yet you're going to sit there and ask me a whole bunch of questions about what I'm able and capable of doing for myself. If I'm able and capable of doing this for myself, what do I need you around for? But anyway, this is what she's saying. Where do you take yourself? What's your checkbook registry? Let me log into your bank account and let me see what you feed yourself. First of all, what made people be so newsy and think that that's okay for them to be so newsy? What make you think, as this boy's mother, that gives you the audacity to think that you can log into my bank account and see how I feed myself? This lady is overstepping boundaries that she should not be even allowed to overstep. And it's people making comments talking about some I heard no lies. Fools will always agree with fools. That's one thing I'm learning about this social media foolishness. Fools is all, no matter how foolish it sound, how foolish it look, a fool is always going to agree with another fool, because it's people, it's all kinds of fools that's making comments under this video talking about, you know, she's not lying when she is lying, because you don't have the audacity to go into any young woman's account to see how she feeds herself. If a young woman has to do all of that, what make you think that she should even want to date your son? And in that case, you're going to make the chances of your son getting with a good woman a lot less than they ever would have already been, because look at what you're doing. All right, I'm going to keep playing it. She said, let me see what you feed yourself on a regular basis. Where do you take yourself? Okay, so you think that if a woman don't take herself on a regular basis to the same places that she tell a man to take her on a date to, that she don't deserve to be taken there? Where does that make any sense? You don't go out to eat every day. You go out to eat on occasion. This lady sounds stupid. All right, I'm going to press play again. Where do you take yourself for lunch or dinner? Why is it such a necessity for you as a woman to take yourself to the same places that you require a man to take you to? Now, mind you, that's not to say that you don't take yourself there, because the fact of the matter is it's nobody's business, for real, whether you take yourself to these places or not. It's really nobody's business whether you take yourself to these places or not by yourself. So you don't have to answer these questions. But at the end of the day, the sad part about it is listening to this lady in this video and having the ex-boyfriends that I have had experiences with. Now I'm understanding that this is where they were getting the foolishness that they were saying to me. They was getting it from their single mama. Let me continue. She trying to say a real lady is not looking for food because she hungry. Meanwhile, this real lady right here, sitting here with the double chin. Anyway, y'all, I'm sorry, because like I hate when people talk crap out their mouth and they don't even seem like they believe the stuff that they saying. You talking about a real lady don't date for food. First of all, who said anybody is dating for food? Where do you get as a woman that a woman is dating for food? That's ridiculous. But this is this is the foolishness that people talking about. Okay, let me hold on. My phone acting stupid. Give me a second. All right, let me go back and press play again. Let me keep playing. She told him to come move back up because she's supposed to be, I guess, dropping some jewels on him, dropping some knowledge on him. She told him to move back up closer to her, while she tells him to question all of the women that he's dating and ask them, you know, what are they feeding themselves? Let me see your bank records and see what you're feeding yourself for lunch and for dinner. This is what she's saying to him. It's ridiculous. Let me press play. Now she's trying to talk crap about women that wrap things up to go. What is wrong with wrapping something up to go, especially if you like the food? This lady sound retarded. And this is the sadness that these men are being raised up under. And this is why it's so hard for women like me to actually date, because the foolishness that these men are being taught, this is why it's so hard to actually find a good date and a good man. Let me continue. Now she talking crap about women that like the food and that decide, oh, I'm going to wrap this up and I'm going to take this to go with me. What's wrong with that? All right, let me go ahead. Why you ain't gonna have food tomorrow? That's a poverty mindset. Honey, you the one that said it. She don't make no sense, y'all. Let me keep going. She's saying that a first date, y'all should be laughing and talking and hanging out and getting to know each other. Y'all shouldn't be at a steakhouse. That's what she's trying to tell him. She's trying to tell him that taking a woman to a steakhouse is a bad move. Why is that a bad move? She's not even making any sense of him. Why is that a bad move? And that's making me think that the reason why you don't want him to take a woman to a steakhouse is because his father probably never took you to a steakhouse. And you feel some type of way where you feel like if his father ain't never take you to no steakhouse, then you don't want him taking no other woman to no steakhouse. And 9 times out of 10, what she probably would tell him is, if you're going to take a woman to the steakhouse, take me to the steakhouse. I gave birth to you. Yo, it's sad. But let me keep going. Press play. And then she disrespectfully says, you might not even be worth a steak. You might just be worth a piece of bread. Look at this. Look at this face of this person saying this. Look at that. You gonna tell somebody they not worth a steak and only worth a piece of bread, and look at you and your son. Your son looking like he wearing bifocals. Okay, and I'm sorry, son, that I had to talk about you. That you got to be that lady's son, but you had to be that lady's son. So I'm sorry, I got to tell the truth about you. He's sitting there with his bifocals on, and she's sitting there looking like a naked mole rat, talking about somebody's worth, when clearly she doesn't have a sense of worth of herself. Because if you have a sense of worth of yourself, you are never going to sit there and try to tell any other female that she's unworthy of being taken care of well. That's a lack in poverty mindset, to try to tell another woman that she should not be confident within herself and she is not deserving of the best things in life. To tell another woman that, whether it's a young woman or not, you are the one with the poverty mindset. This lady right here, she's the one with the poverty mindset, telling women that they shouldn't have high confidence and high self-esteem, and if they're going to give themselves or their body to some man, then they should set the standards high, because why not? He's setting the standards pretty high, demanding for your body, right? So why can't you set the standards high for yourself and say, okay, you want this body, I want some steak. I don't care if you are starving. If he is interested in you and he wants to take you out, what is so horrible about, oh, I was hungry, but because he thought I was cute, he decided to take me out for dinner and he got me an extra doggy bag? What is wrong? I'm sorry. I do not see what is wrong with, if you are attracted to a woman and she's falling on hard times and she's struggling, why you couldn't get her something to eat? You already like her. You want something from her. You're attracted to her. You're going to want some pum pum at some point or another. So what's wrong with you buying her something to eat? But that's what this lady is saying. This lady is acting like it is so horrible to, by any means, decide to feed somebody that's hungry, even if it's a woman that you think is attractive. This is crazy. And just the simple fact that people are agreeing with the foolishness is really sad and pathetic. But I'm going to keep playing it. You might just be worth a piece of bread. Disrespectful. So ladies, young ladies, grow up. Get some maturity about yourself. Y'all buying titties, lashes, and booties and everything else. Here's the thing. Every woman is not buying titties and lashes and booties. That's number one. And then number two, that don't mean that you're not grown because you making a man be a man. And you telling that man, all right, you going to want some poom poom from me at some point or another, so I'm going to want you to treat me like the queen that I am. Point blank, period. That doesn't mean that you're immature, honey. that means that you're setting the tone for how this man is supposed to treat you if he's ever going to get in your underwear. You're letting him know, you don't get that close to me for free. You don't get that close to me and don't have to do nothing for me. That's what you're letting him know by doing that. It's not about being broke. It's not about being hungry. But even if you was broke and hungry, what's wrong with looking out for somebody that you already think is attractive if they broke and hungry? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with you looking at her and saying, you're beautiful? I don't understand why you're so messed up right now, but I would like to help you. What's wrong with that? Why is she talking about a woman being broke and hungry like, like you're not supposed to want to help people that, have those problems and issues? Like, these people clearly were raised very horribly, because they were raised with no human consciousness that tells you it's nothing wrong with feeding somebody if they're hungry, especially if you think they're attractive. Anyway, I'm going to keep praying, press and play. And you want somebody else to feed you, save your money, stop buying your body and put it to the side so you can have some food. That's not a man's responsibility once you dating a man and once he gets to know you and y'all vibing and he want to take you to a nice restaurant. Guess what that means? You well deserving of that. He think enough about you to make a reservation. Here's the thing. He's supposed to think enough about you to make a reservation before you sit there and go through him asking you 1,000,001 questions about what your bank account look like and what you spend on your own food. You should not have to sit there and explain to a man what you spend on your own food for him to feel like you worthy of him taking you to a nice place where you make reservations. This lady is talking crazy. And 9 times out of 10, she's talking like this because 9 times out of 10, she's never been taken anywhere nice. 9 times out of 10, if anybody was to have an interview with her and ask her, did the father of that boy that's standing right next to her in this video, did he ever take her anywhere nice? I guarantee you she wouldn't be able to name not one nice restaurant that he took her to. And that's exactly why she's sitting there trying to tell her son not to treat other women like queens, because she wasn't treated very well. 9 times out of 10, that's exactly the reason why she's talking like this. Because other than that, it makes absolutely no sense. The only way that it makes sense is if she's self-sabotaging and self-hating, and she has never had the experience of a man taking her to nice places. Because that's what it sounds like. I'm going to keep pressing play. All right, so now she's trying to say that a lot of females don't have reservations about their mouth. They talk bad. They disrespectful. They ghetto. They trifling, and they don't have an income that substantiates what you want this man to do. You don't reserve being lazy. You fall out lazy. You have no reservations on that. But you want the man to make reservations for you at a restaurant. But you don't reserve what's between your legs. You passing that out like candy. First of all, how does this lady know that anybody is passing anything out like candy? That's why I say that these people be way too newsy. What gave people the audacity to think that they can be this newsy about people's lives? What business? First of all, old lady, what business is it of yours what I'm doing with my poom poom? You sitting there talking about something, I'm passing out poom poom like it's candy. I'm sorry. How would you know that? Because one thing I definitely remember, even though I'm not a virgin now, so far from it, but when I was at 19 years old, 18, 17, 18, 19 years old, I kept getting called out of my name and kept getting called whores and smuts and sluts and all kinds of names. Excuse me, YouTube, if that's not acceptable. But I had to let it be known that I was being called all kinds of names. And I hadn't even had sex once yet. I hadn't even had my hymen broken yet, and I was getting called all kinds of names. So if y'all think that black women really gonna care, that y'all trying to really point out that they supposed to be so hoish when black men are horrible to try to be with. And this is the reason why black men are so horrible to try to be with, because they have crappy mothers like this. This is a crappy behind mom to sit there and try to tell you that you're not supposed to look at women as worthy of being honored and loved and respected and taken to a nice place, and reservations being made and treated with, some type of respect. You sitting there trying to tell her that she talk crazy and that she giving her poom poom to everybody. You don't even know this girl. And you already painting her in a way that's jacked up, because you don't even know this girl. 9 times out of 10, this way that you painting her to be, that's how you was as a little girl. And if that's how you was as a little girl, how dare you talk so much negativity on somebody else that reflects the same energy that you reflected when you didn't know no better? How dare you? Who the heck do you think you are? But anyway, I'm going to keep playing this. This is sad, pathetic. I'm going to keep playing it. You passing it out like candy. You rated E for everybody. All right, now it's a guy that's sitting here talking about it's rare to hear a woman break her silence in the woman code. Here's the thing. Ain't no such thing as no daggone woman code, okay? Because this lady is talking out her behind. You talking about somebody and you don't even know who you're talking about. This boy don't even have a girlfriend, and you talking about some random girl that you done thought up in your head that probably matches the little girl that you was before you had him. And now we about to start talking about that. I don't think I'm even going to listen to this whole video, but we going to see. Alright, so now the guy is breaking in and trying to say that she's putting sister code to the side and replacing it with the true reality of how things really are. Actually, no, she's not. What she's really doing is showing how much she self-hate and self-sabotage herself, and how much she wants her son to act more like her boyfriend or her husband, and not to give off that boyfriend and husband energy to any other female, but instead to treat other females that he should treat like a wife or a girlfriend, to treat them like crap and treat her like a wife or a girlfriend, because that's the type of energy that she has, and that's the type of energy that a lot of black women have when they mothers. And it's sad and it's pathetic, because that's the reason why the self-esteem for young black women in the black community has gone to 0. Because you have hating behind black women like this, that's talking all of this mess to their sons about women, and these black boys are dumb enough to believe it, and then they sit there and create bad scenarios for themselves because they believe they dumb behind mama. But anyway, I'm going to keep playing it until I get irritated with it. I don't know if that was the whole video yet, but I have found this. I think I originally saw this on Facebook or Instagram. I'm not sure which one. Like scrolling past all of my news feed. But I had to go back and try to find it again because I couldn't find it on Facebook or Instagram, and I found it on YouTube. And so when I found it on this YouTube channel, I think this is somebody that's like narrating it kind of like I am, but obviously with a different point of view. And so I'm going to play it until I get sick of playing it. And so far I'm kind of sick of playing it already, but I'm trying to like play as much of it as I can to like really get y'all to understand why this really frustrated me so much listening to this lady talk. Okay, I'm gonna press play. Then of course this man that is narrating this is going to be on the side of this lady that's talking this way, because it is in his favor that she's talking, even though it's literally teaching women, black women, to be self-hating, self-deprivating, and to not put any standards ahead of being in a relationship and or having future intimacy with a black man. And I say a black man because we're talking about black people here. He trying to say that she is a mother that is explaining true ways of most women. That's actually not the true ways of most women. It's not. Most women aren't like that. If most women are like that now, it's because of women like you that have tried to bring our self-esteem so low. Because most women do not move like that and do not act like that. They don't. And I'm tired of people saying stuff like that. And they saying, all right, ladies, if this isn't you, then kudos, but understand that this is what men are saying. If this is what men are saying and this is not you, isn't that not fair to you? That men are saying that you're a certain kind of way that you're not, and you're being misperceived and misjudged. Isn't that an injustice to you? But people don't even want to recognize that. But that's what this dude just said. Ah, okay. So now they just brought up another part that asks, does body count matter? They just asked somebody. And this girl says, this white girl says, no, no. She says no because, it's a double standard. Supposedly it matters if a girl has a high body count, but if a guy has a high body count, it doesn't matter. So if it doesn't matter for him, then it doesn't matter, period. That's what she said. Now let me see what this guy's about to say. This is the same video. I'm just kind of curious about what the rest of it is saying. And she said this is stereotypical that guys can have a very high body count and that's okay, but girls have to have it below 10, and that's freaking ridiculous, which it is. So let me press play. Okay, so here's the thing. The guy that's interviewing asks the girl and the other guy, so have you ever heard about the saying, and I hate these sayings too, by the way. He said, have you ever heard about the saying talking about if you have one master key and it opens up many locks, then that's good. But if you have a key, a lock, that I don't know. He tried to mix it up with that, and to me that doesn't even make any sense, because I'm sorry, how are you equating sexual activity with keys and a lock? That makes absolutely no sense to me. But this is what he's saying. Okay, so he asked the girl, would you care about how many guys he asked the girl, would you care about how many girls your guy has been with? And she said no. And then he asked the guy, guy, would you care about how many, guys this girl has been with? And he said, yes, because girls choose who they want to have sex with. Guys only have sex with who they can have sex with. You still not making no sense, sir. That still don't have nothing to do with the question to me at all. That still don't have nothing to do with why do you think it's okay for a guy to have a high body count, but it's so horrible for a girl to have a high body count. You're still not making it make any sense. You're still saying a whole bunch of cliche stuff that don't make no sense. And in that sense, I feel like that's just guys showing how much it really doesn't make any sense what they're trying to rationalize as far as women having a low body count, but they just still trying to push that scenario because they know that if they don't push that scenario, then they're not going to be able to control women. But anyway, I'm going to keep playing it until I get tired. So the guy is saying that said that he would have a problem with a girl with a high body count. He said guys is able to have sex with who they're allowed to have sex with. Girls are able to have sex with who they want to have sex with. What does that have to do with the fact that it doesn't matter how many people you've been with, especially when you know you live in a time where parents are teaching their children to not value each other unless that person already does the same thing for themselves, which it doesn't matter whether they do the same thing for themselves. But anyway, I'm going to continue to play. And now this dude is trying to say it's crazy how some women want privileges of a man, but then leave responsibilities by the wayside that comes with that. Here's the thing. Y'all men made it up that it's okay for y'all to have a bunch of sexual partners. That's not actually true. And if it's okay for y'all to have a bunch of sexual partners, y'all still have not made it make sense. Why is something wrong with women having a lot of sexual partners? Here's the thing. Women are not just trying to have sex with a whole bunch of people like men. The only reason why we're even having this conversation about women having multiple sexual parties and whatever is because women are going through so many issues because of the video that I was talking about earlier, where guys are not trying to act like they show that they know that she's valuable, that she's a good person, that she deserves to be treated like a good woman, like a good person. And we clearly see that that's because these men are being taught by their mothers and fathers that women have no worth. That's basically what this lady is teaching her son. She is teaching her son that women have no worth, and the only worth that he should ever consider that a woman has is if she has it already from herself, which is not the case, because there is many of women who may have been broke, who may have come up from the hood, grew up in the hood, had a hard time growing up and, maturing and getting a life of their own, and then maybe connect with somebody rich and wealthy and end up turning a whole life around, becoming a businesswoman and really making her life successful, right? That is possible to happen, right? But this lady sitting here talking about she's broken, she's sitting there giving her poom poom to every guy that she can. I'm sorry, what's the girl's name? You don't know, right? Because she don't even exist. So how do you know this many details about somebody that doesn't even exist yet? Because you're creating off of your own experiences, clearly, because that's the only reason why you would have so many details of a person that doesn't even exist. She ain't even talking about a specific name or anything. How do I know she doesn't exist? That's why. Because if she was talking about somebody specific, she would have been more specific. She ain't talking about nobody specific. This guy don't even have no girlfriend. And 9 times out of 10, he ain't never gonna have no girlfriend. If he do, she gonna be the worst woman in the world because she gonna have to deal with her with his mother. And it's so crazy how this guy is sitting there talking about some, oh, girls want to have the advantages of the guys, but then want to put the responsibilities by the wayside. Guys don't even take the responsibilities of what they supposed to do. So how you going to say that girls are trying to take the responsibilities of what guys is trying to do and they not? He talking real stupid, but that's usually what ends up happening when guys are sitting there trying to clean up things and make things look like it makes sense when it makes literally no sense whatsoever. All right, I'm gonna stop it there because now he's going into something else, talking about some. It's a lot of women and people that are taking and saying that chivalry is dead, but it is done by their own hands and trying to show that they can do everything. Every woman is not trying to show that she can do everything. I am one of those women myself that is a very feminine woman, and I would have been 10 times more feminine if I had a father figure in my life, one. Number two, if I had a better family build. And number three, if I had people around me that wasn't acting completely freaking insane. But the facts of the matter is, a lot of us females gravitate to more masculine behavior because we're forced to. And then when you have a woman like this black woman right here talking like she's talking to her son about women, it's terrible. It's disrespectful to women everywhere. She's even disrespecting herself by telling her son what she's telling him. Because if anything, I would tell my son this. A woman is worthy of being taken care of and being treated like a queen until she shows that she's not. If you treat her like a queen and she does not show appreciation, she can't say thank you. She can't actually show any regard for what you want as well. Then that's when you pull back and you show that, okay, you don't deserve what I'm giving you. But you don't sit there and come at her as though she don't deserve what you could give her. Because she's not supposed to be acting as though a man and doing everything for herself like that. She's not supposed to be doing that. The world tells her that's what she's supposed to do, but that's not what she's supposed to be doing. In all genuineness, a female is never supposed to have to take care of herself. A female is supposed to be taken care of by her father throughout her entire life and her mother. And then when she becomes of age to be able to take care of herself, she's actually supposed to get married and have her husband take care of her. And it's not that women aren't capable of taking care of each other, it's not that women aren't capable of taking care of themselves or anything of that sort. It's just that women were created to take care of a household. The man was created to take care of the woman. The woman was created to take care of the household. Therefore, any pets, any children, the house or the property that they're staying in, that's what the woman was created to take care of. But the man was created to take care of the woman. And I really feel like it is very disrespectful and disregarding that people like this guy in this video said they say, oh, well, if you're not this way that we're talking about in this video, then kudos to you. Yeah, but at the same time, not kudos to me, because that's very disrespectful that I'm not like this and y'all actually referring to me like I am and treating me like I am. So, if there are any young ladies or women, period, that are watching this channel, I want to tell you guys, you are worthy and you are worth it, whether you can afford to get it for yourself or not. Now, let me tell you something else. It's not okay to take advantage of anybody, not a man or a woman. Okay? So if you out here and you are being the way that this woman is talking about, then shame on you. But I'm talking the way that I'm talking because I don't know women to act that way. I don't act that way. And women that I know don't act that way. But if you are a woman that acts that way, then maybe you are the type of woman that she's talking about. But to my knowledge, I know many of women, including myself, that do not act the way that she was speaking of. And therefore, I'm talking to those type of women right now. I'm speaking to you. If you are the type of woman that's like me, that is very appreciative when a man takes you out, that shows that you're appreciative, that shows that you're very respectful, that shows that you are not a woman that's out here just giving it to any and everybody. Even though whatever, it doesn't matter what your body count is, because at the end of the day, that's nobody's business anyway. But whatever your body count is, there is nobody's prerogative to judge you according to what you're doing, when God is the only one that can judge, because everybody else has their own demons. So this lady who's had her own demons, she shouldn't even have the audacity to try to tell somebody else what they're worth. But I'm going to tell you, as woman to woman, you are worthy of a good man taking good care of you and loving on you and respecting you and taking you to wherever you want to go, and having whatever great experiences that y'all can build with each other, and hopefully, prayerfully, y'all get married and y'all be able to, years upon years later, be able to talk about these beautiful dates that y'all been on. Don't listen to that lady. Now, if you the type of woman that do the type of stuff that she was saying women do, giving they poom poom out like it's candy, if you doing stuff like that, if you only eating because men is taking you out and you literally have no time when you know how to, get your own food and feed yourself and get your own self secured and situated, then you need to work on that. But I do understand that just because you might not be able to afford food does not mean that you out here buying butts and boobs and stuff like that. That was just way out of line and way disrespectful for her to even say. Because even if people are doing that, it's just disrespectful to even say something like that to somebody. And then if people aren't getting butts and boobs and stuff and you're saying that to them, it's even more disrespectful. Y'all could clearly see me. I'm natural as can be. I'll buy a pair of lashes. That's the only thing on that list that she said that I'll buy. And I don't even buy them very much because I got my own natural lashes. But when I'm trying to be a little extra cute or whatever and dressy, then I'll go ahead and get some lashes and maybe put a little mascara on them. But other than that, child, I don't do none of the stuff that lady was talking about. And that's why I'm like, that is very sad. That's how a lot of women are talking to their sons about us women. And most of us women is like me. Don't even do half of that stuff. But that's how they talking about us. It's terrible. It's terribly sad. And then this guy is sitting there talking about she's finally being honest and breaking the girl code. No, she's not breaking no girl code, and she's not being honest either. She's being self-hating and self-sabotaging because she does not want her son to make better connections with other women than he has with her. And in all actuality, I do believe that genuinely that is exactly the reason why black mothers do that to their sons. And it's sad and it's pathetic and it needs to stop. And I pray that one day very soon, this toxic connection between mother and son will stop, and the false pretenses being taught about black women to men will stop, because it's uncalled for, it's unnecessary, and it's disrespectful to women, especially women. That's not the way that these women are talking about us women being. We not giving the poom poom out like candy. We not buying ass and titties. We not out here, you know, only being able to eat when a guy take us out. Like, no, that's not what it is out here. Not with every female. It's a lot of us females out here that very well go ahead and do what they need to do and be able to take care of themselves, feed themselves, take themselves out to eat. I'm one of them kind of women myself, like I said earlier, that take myself out. I've taken myself to plenty of restaurants, and for the more expensive restaurants that I've wanted to go to, I saved up my money so that I could be able to go and afford to take myself there. So that's why it's so crazy that ladies like that say stuff like that, because it's like, how you talking so much crap about women like that, like you don't know that women can make whatever happen that we want to happen. If we want to go somewhere, we could definitely take ourselves, and we definitely will. So y'all, I had to share this video with you guys because it really touched my heart and my spirit and my soul, because I understand from my own experiences that black women are not naturally, you know, a way where we don't have good self-esteem and stuff like that. We're not naturally like that. The only reason why we tend to be naturally like that now is because of other black women that's talking very bad about us and making us look bad to our possible prospects that we could possibly be dating. And that's why we end up having such an issue and a problem in our dating life, because those people who should be allies for us because they're women are against us because they're self-hating women. Women that hate themselves and don't want their sons to have better connections with any other female. That toxic behavior needs to be discontinued forever, because the makeup of the black family has been torn down from the root because of this. Because of black women behaving in this way, because of black men behaving in the way that they've been behaving. That's why black families are so weak now. That's why black men and women individually and together are so weak now. That's why. Because we are not teaching each other to love each other. We're not teaching each other to respect each other. We're not teaching each other that, yes, you are the prize and you do deserve to be loved and respected until you show some type of behavior that shows that you don't deserve it. And that's what the truth is. So y'all make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And what? Make sure you become a part of the Truth Tribe, because when you vibing with Ruth, you vibing with who? You vibing with the truth. And that's that on that. Y'all make sure that y'all come on back next time. Peace out.